Today we'll be getting groovy with Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar Duckworth was born in Compton, California on June 17th, 1987. His parents had relocated to California to escape from gang violence, but his family would still experience struggle depending on welfare. Kendrick went through homelessness, which would shape Kendrick's worldview in his music. Well, we'll get to that his music later. At the age of 5 years old, he witnessed murder, and he had witnessed another one by the time he was 8 years old. In school, he was a loner, but was good academically. By 7th grade, his teacher considered putting him into poetry to de-escalate gang tension. Kendrick absorbed his father's collection of music that included Snoop Dogg and Marvin Gaye, as he stumbled upon watching the music video for California Love with Tupac and Dr. Dre. And late into the 2000s, he would be under the alias of K-Dots, releasing music with mixtapes such as Youngest Head Nigga in Charge in 2007, Training Day in 2008, and C4 in 2009. He would release his final mixtape, Overly Dedicated, in 2010. Though I won't get into it in this video, all I can say about Overly Dedicated, it shows Kendrick at his most bare. The production is not quite there yet, though I really expecting it, not really. But I'll be starting with an album that really expressed his thoughts on the post-Reagan era and show a lot of personality across the album. That album will be his debut, Section 80, released on July 2nd, 2011. Now, the concept of this album centers around characters like Tammy and Keisha to use as messages to larger societal issues. Now, on this record, my favorite is definitely Rigor Mortis, which has Kendrick signifying that he's killing his competition with his lyrical prowess. Fuck Your Ethnicity has him tackling racial injustice. ADHD dives into the mindset of his generation, specifically those who have a high tolerance on drugs. Absol's outro has Absol, and it explores themes of doubt, faith, and the exploration of potential consequences of someone's beliefs. No Makeup explores the natural beauty and the pressure, or like the social pressure to wear makeup. Chapter 6 is about the younger generation being carefree, reckless, so much so that they overlook like the risks and consequences that come with it. Pushing Corinthians has Kendrick struggling between worldly expectations and having a desire for a higher purpose. Hold Up dives into self-reflection and introspection. High Power is decent, though I understand like this was like one of the bigger songs off of the record. I personally don't think the production on here does the song much justice, in my opinion. Ronald Reagan era is okay to me, especially with the part where he says whoop-de-whoop a lot. I'm not trying to tie my shoe. I'm not trying to go forward and back, left to right, and loop-de-loop that boat. Other than that, I think this album is great. While the production is not as good as future projects, Kendrick still was able to keep my attention with his topics of choice, and definitely like his lyricism is pretty good too, and adding a lot of personality to it. Now, for his sophomore album, he would try to create a short film without the film. It would be a series of tracks from start to finish about his time growing up in Compton. One that would even go further in his sound, trying to push it forward using West Coast hip hop, G-Funk, while having Pharrell Williams, Just Blaze, DJ Dahi, Dr. Dre for his most diverse sounding album, and that album would be Good Kid, M.A.A.d, released on October 22nd, 2012. Now, I won't go super deep into this album as it has a ton to it. There's a lot of layers to it. Be going on with my personal favorites, as I think this album itself deserves its own video, its own review. So I'll just be going on with my personal favorites on the album. Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe is about how he wants to kill the vibe of everyone wanted to have creative control. It has great production, and I honestly don't mind the nasal delivery. Backseat Freestyle is probably the most provocative Kendrick had ever gotten with his lyrics yet. The production sounds very anthemic as well. I love the chorus on Money Trees. Poetic Justice is a great love song about using irony as a literacy device, saying that virtue is rewarded while misdeeds are punished. Oh, and Drake fits on this track very well as well. Mad City is a great song for pretty much any Kendrick concert by this point. That's all I can say about it. Swimming Pools is about being so peer pressured into alcoholism. I like the chorus a lot. Sing About Me, I Die in a Thirst is structured in 2 parts, as it's like 12 minutes, but its impact to the story is like without question important. But of course, for the sake of this video, again, I will be doing that album review sometime soon. The chorus on Real is interesting. It if you could be such a thing, to say the least. I like for what it is, but it's just that kind of like that nasal delivery that isn't on the chorus, kind of odd, but I actually do like what the song's trying to be. And Compton is a nice West Coast track with Dr. Dre on production. So Good Kid, M.A.A.d City gained massive critical acclaim, and Kendrick really started being seen as this voice of a generation. So for Kendrick's next record, he would take a trip down to South Africa, specifically Robben Island, and it was there that he would actually some albums material and try to go for a more soulful and politically charged direction. And of course, you have multiple collaborators such as Thundercat, Flying Lotus. You also have Terrace Martin and Kamasi Washington, and that album would actually soon come to be To Pimp A Butterfly, released on March 2015. Say that this is his best work for sure, as this album is definitely way more ambitious, risk-taking. And since this album is like layered in a lot of detail, I won't be going like fully in depth. I'll just be briefly summarizing almost every track. Wesley's Theory starts off the record with some Boris Gardner sample, drives into this funky production with the low, wavy, subtle synths, glistening piano playing, and some high notes from the guitar as well. For free interlude, has some classic horns, bringing back that jazz rap production, as I also love the refrain that this dick ain't free. King Kunta has a killer bass line from Thundercat. Institutionalized brings back R&B and hip-hop to the mix. These Walls continue that with some spacey production. All Right is probably the best track on here, as it has Pharrell Williams on production, as this was also a song that was strong for the Black Lives Matter movement. Mama had some clunky sounding production. Kendrick, of course, having an epiphany. How Much a Dollar Costs is probably the most focused of his story-driven tracks in his catalog, but up to this point. The Black of the Bird is like his most aggressive track, as he's pretty much like accepting the good with the bad when it comes to his own like identity. Of course, the grand finale, Mortal Man, has live audio of Tupac Shakur from an actual interview from like the 90s, and Kendrick uses this audio himself to like make it as if he's asking questions to Tupac like in an interview. So yes, this album is definitely his best work. I have enjoyed it. I still come back to it a lot of times. And yeah, like I said earlier, it's definitely more risk-taking than Good Kid, M.A.A.d City. It's definitely more ambitious. It's definitely willing to not sacrifice itself to like sound more trendy at the time. So yes, that will be the end of this part of this Kendrick Discog Files. I'll be doing another one on another set of years. And if you want to get into Kendrick's music, please just check out Good Kid, M.A.A.d City and TPAP, as those two are like the quintessential Kendrick Lamar albums. I'll be making a whole video on that later. Yeah, so please follow my Instagram, TikTok, and I'm gonna see y'all later.